Right mate, so in this video we're going to be talking about transphobia. Yay! But no, in all seriousness, there does seem to be a lot of confusion around what is transphobic and what isn't transphobic, and although I'm not going to be able to go over every instance of what is transphobic in this video, I can give you the basic fundamentals of what transphobia is, and then there's always comments, resources, all that stuff that is always in a Trans 101 video. But also, little trigger warning, if talking about transphobia is a psychological trigger for you, don't watch this video. Please take care of yourself. I would hate for this video to be cause of undue distress. Please take care of yourself. Transphobia is the discrimination and bigotry against trans people that is rooted in the incorrect belief that trans people are not in fact their true gender, but rather the gender that they were assigned at birth. There you go, video done, bye! No, I'm just kidding, there's way more to say. So let's get into this idea of bigotry and discrimination a bit more. In my experience, people with a certain level of social bias and privilege tend to think of the KKK or Nazis or witch hunters or groups like that when they hear the word bigotry. But those groups are examples of explicit and violent bigotry. But like with most things in this series, there's more than one brand of bigotry. So what are those different brands? Now I've already touched on explicit bigotry. It's the kind the KKK, the Nazis, TERS and the alt-right use. It's an active form of bigotry that undeniably discriminates against and oppresses people based on who they are. Explicit bigots fight against the civil rights and sometimes even the human rights of their victims. We can all agree that they're arseholes. And the best approach for them then is to just ignore them, because giving them exposure just gives them more followers, which gives them more power, which gives them influence over public perception of their victims. The other form of bigotry is a bit more insidious. It's casual bigotry, and it typically expresses itself as thoughts and opinions that people learn from their elders or from older pieces of media, and they were able to nestle their way into our beliefs because we didn't realise when we first were given them that they were bad. And the reason for that is our social biases. For example, the outdated idea that sex and gender are the same result in the transphobic idea that trans women are actually men dressed as women. Those who express casual bigotry don't typically realise that their views are bigoted, and when faced with that reality they can sometimes feel personally attacked. This is often because when they hear the word bigoted they think of explicit bigotry and they're non-explicit bigots, so they get defensive, and that defensiveness shows itself as heel digging, and they refuse to believe that their views are built on bigoted foundations, which is what makes casual bigotry so pervasive, because it can trick those that it's infested into being its bodyguards. This is also why it's really hard to rid the world of it, because in order to do so, every single person is going to have to go through a period of introspection where they evaluate all of their beliefs and biases, identify the ones that are casually bigoted, and then go through the hard work of ridding themselves of them. But as we've seen recently, the victimhood felt for being told that you might harbour some casually bigoted beliefs can be so strong that it results in a person developing explicitly bigoted behaviours. For some examples of this, just look at the rise in white nationalism or the return of the Nazis. I mean, it's been 74 years, only 74 years, and they're already back. It's all of our responsibilities to interrogate our biases and rid the world of the casually bigoted views that they can nurture. And what makes doing that easier, or at least what has made it easier for me, is realising that having biases doesn't make you a bad person. It's entirely fine to have biases, but what makes you an irresponsible person is not keeping an eye on what beliefs those biases are allowing into your mind. As always, I'm going to be down in the comments, so feel free to leave me questions or comments or expansions or whatever. I'm going to be down there talking. There's also the resources for more stuff on this subject in the description, and if you want more of these videos, then please do hop over to Patreon or throw me a little loose change in my PayPal, because I like making these, and I like eating, and I like being able to give my editor money for helping. So yeah, anyway, see you down there, and bye.